Here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're continuing on with the series Who Would Be the Best in Smash Ultimate. And today we are looking at all of the Ganon/Ganondorfs that have ever appeared in The Legend of Zelda, or in gaming. We have comprised a total list of 28 different Ganons/Ganondorfs that come from either the Zelda franchise, spin-offs, or even media. So you can expect to see all types of Ganons and Ganondorfs, even from old cartoons. So like always, if you guys are new to the channel, I already have made tons of lists with Marios and Sonics and stuff like that, so you can check that out on the channel. And also, this is kind of how it goes, so pretty much we'll go through the list and we'll take groups of Ganons at a time and talk about which ones would be great in Smash and which ones wouldn't, and re-narrow it down to 4 at the very end. We then pick our final winner and talk about why we chose him to be the best in Smash Ultimate. When looking for a character, we're looking for not only super powerful, but a great moveset to have in Smash Ultimate. So go ahead and make your predictions down below, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed. Without further ado, let's get into the list. Starting off our list, we have the original Legend of Zelda with Ganon, where he's pretty much a basic enemy here, where he teleports across the room and you need a specific item in order to defeat him, which is the silver arrows. So there's not much to his gameplay. He runs around the room and throws his trident, but that's about it. And the same thing happens in Link to the Past with just a little bit of an upgraded graphic system, and he pretty much does the same thing. He then can send out fire and bats and make the floor fall from underneath him, but that's pretty much it. Now when we talk about Ocarina of Time Ganondorf, we're talking about how he acts in this game specifically, not in the other Smash Brothers. So in this game, he actually floats in the air and creates this game called Dead Man's Volley by throwing spirit balls at Link, and you can reflect them and knock them back at him. This is pretty much it. He doesn't really attack with anything else, which makes this battle kind of pointless. Now his Ganon form is actually pretty sweet because he's giant and has 2 huge swords at his hands, but at the same time there's a different version of this battle that I think would work better in Smash, and we'll get to that later on. And Phantom Ganon is going to be the very first one to make our list because I think it'd be cool if he had his horse with him in Smash. Not only that, but he could fly through using illusions, maybe like different paintings like he does in the game, and try to stab you with his trident, which would be pretty cool. Four Swords Ganon has the ability to hold up his trident and shoot out forces of energy, but at the same time he does kind of work as all the other Ganons while he just flies around the room waving his trident, so nothing much here. Wind Waker Ganondorf uses 2 katanas and he moves really fast. I think this could be like a ninja version of Ganondorf that could be really cool, so I'm gonna give him a shot in Smash. And also, why not Puppet Ganondorf? I mean, he transforms into like 3 different forms, so why not give him a shot? He has a giant spider form and also a Moldorm where he can roll around the room as fast as he can and you have to hit his tail. I think he could be kind of cool to transform into different things. I'm gonna give him a shot, why not? It may be a huge thing on the stage, but it could work. Phantom Ganon from Wind Waker could also be really cool because he has a lot of moves. It isn't until Hyrule Warriors where we can see some of these where he can duplicate himself, send out spirit orbs, and basically a stronger version of the Phantom Ganon from Ocarina of Time. I really like this version, and plus he looks really cool, and I think he could be really good in Smash. Twilight Princess Ganon, however, isn't that strong. He just runs through different teleporters and just tries to run into you against the wall. He doesn't really do anything besides that, and all you have to do is tip him over with Midna's hand, so nothing here. Yes, Ganondorf has a horse in Twilight Princess, but he doesn't really do much with it, but just gets shot at by Princess Zelda and her arrows, so I think this is the same thing as Phantom Ganon, but a little less serious than the one in Ocarina of Time. Now, before you get your panties in a jumble, I do know that Demise is not Ganondorf technically, and I know that neither is the imprisoned Ganon, but I know that Demise is kind of the very first Ganondorf, so we're counting him anyway. He's not going to do anything either way because his sword gameplay is very slow. He's not that great of a swordsman compared to Ganondorf in later games, but I thought the imprisoned could be a cool character, maybe. I'm just going to give him the heck of the benefit of the doubt. Listen, he's not going to win, spoiler alert, but I thought he'd be cool because he's got all those transformations. He can get the halo above his head, he can fly up, and he looks cool. Yuga Ganon from Link Between Worlds could be really cool because they have the aspect of going through the walls. So he can like kind of merge into the stage or do something cool with the background and come out. But he is probably the coolest version of all the Ganons in this 2D camera above atmosphere. And I really just like this aspect of him. Hyrule Warriors Ganon just acts like a giant beast, which I understand that's what he is, but he just acts like a giant like Donkey Kong character where he just swings his fist around and causes like occasional lightning strikes. So, nah. Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf, however, will be really good because he has 2 blades and he also can swap out for his trident, and oh my goodness does he have some combos where he can use his dark magic to create all types of illusions and even bring Ganon up as part of his moveset, which would be an amazing moveset for Smash. Now we move on to Breath of the Wild, and I know that the new Ganondorf isn't revealed yet, and everybody's saying that it's Ganondorf, but we can't really talk about him now. But we can talk about the 2 Ganons that appeared in the game, being Calamity Ganon and Beast Ganon. So Calamity Ganon was actually pretty cool. He had lasers and all kind of swords and multiple appendages, so he would be kind of cool in Smash, mainly as a boss, but I'm going to count him nevertheless. But his counterpart, Beast Ganon, just stands still in a field and shoots this really slow giant laser. And, like, if you get hit by this thing, you're terrible. This is not happening. Now we move on to the Blight Ganon. Since they're technically a type and form of Ganon, like a piece of him, I counted them as well. And there's a couple that I think would actually work pretty well. WaterBlight Ganon has that giant spear that he can actually throw and toss, but he's really slow, so I don't know if he'd work. And the same thing goes with FIREBLIGHT. He's got the giant sword, but he's also extremely slow. It's not until we get to THUNDERBLIGHT where he can move extremely quick with his shield and with his spear, and he can dash around the stage really quick. He can also summon lightning from the sky and lightning rods along the ground, which I think he would be an extremely difficult foe to go against. And then you have WINDBLIGHT Ganon, which stays in the air and shoots with his blaster, which I think would be pretty cool as well. He can also summon different types of tornadoes and little homing rockets to come in on top of you, which would be really sweet. Cadence of Hyrule Ganon just moves to the beat of the song. He pretty much plays just like every other 2D Zelda game, where he travels around the room trying to hit you with his trident and jump on top of you, but he also has a bubble shield in this game, so all you have to do is pop his shield along with the beat and then start attacking him, so nothing much there. Deathel, the final boss of Link's Awakening, transforms into a shadow version of Ganon, which is just pretty much the same thing with his trident. He spins it around and tries to throw it at you occasionally. Remember I told you I'd talk about Ocarina of Time Ganon later? Well, it's later. In Smash Ultimate, he appears as a boss, and he's a lot better than the original game. He swings faster, he attacks quicker, and he's just an overall more powerful enemy. And I understand that he's a boss in this game, but wouldn't it be cool to either play as all the bosses or at least Ganon? Now, of course, like always, I gotta bring these up because you guys get mad if I don't include them on the list, but you have CD-i Ganon, and you also have that cartoon, and they're both just not good Ganons. The cartoon was a lot better, but that CD-i, oh my god, what is that?
In the darkest nightmare hour, when not moon nor sun has risen, I take Zelda in my power. I shall keep her in my prison.
And then last but not least, you have the Ganon from Nintendo Land's Battle Quest. He pretty much just stands still, spinning his trident, and just throwing different orbs at you. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else to it. Now before we pick our 4, it did dawn on me that I forgot the Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages Ganon, but, you know, alas, he is pretty much the same as the classic Ganon, so he probably wouldn't even make the list anyways. Now the 4 that I narrowed it down to will be Wind Waker Phantom Ganon, Wind Waker Ganondorf, Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf, and THUNDERBLIGHT Ganon. The first one to leave will be THUNDERBLIGHT Ganon, simply because I don't have a JPEG of him. No, I'm just playing. So pretty much, he doesn't really technically count as a Ganon/Ganondorf. I know a lot of people would got mad if he would have made the list, but he is an extremely fast foe with really good swordsmanship, so he could have done pretty well, but just the fact that he doesn't necessarily classify as Ganon kind of hurt him. The second to go, coming in 3rd place, will be The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker Ganondorf. He would be really cool to add that extra slot since we've already had Ocarina of Time Ganondorf and Twilight Princess Ganondorf in Smash, so Wind Waker Ganondorf would be really cool, but it just doesn't seem like it would be that unique of a character. You know, he still would have his swords and stuff, and he's still a bigger character, and he would probably just still be a big brute the same way he is in Smash now. And the winner of which Ganon/Ganondorf would be the best in Smash Ultimate is Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf. I think this one was a no-brainer, and I'm sure lots of you guys have probably thought so well. It's Ganondorf, and technically Ganon already in one. He uses lots of moves that utilize different depths of Ganon's arms, his legs, just different stuff like that, and he is just an amazing character. He has different weapons at his disposal, not just his double blades, but he has his trident and multiple magic moves as well. Now, I understand that this technically isn't canon, since it is just a Warriors spinoff, but I think this version of Ganondorf is the ultimate. He looks sweet, he performs adequately well. I think this one would be the best in Smash Ultimate. Well guys, what Ganon slash Ganondorf do you think should have won this battle? Are there any others that I may have missed? Let me know down in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for tuning in today. You guys have absolutely been loving this series, and I will continue on. Lots of you guys have commented Luigi next, so we might give that a shot. If you got anybody else that you want me to do besides Luigi, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to check them out. Once again, subscribe if you're new, and like the video if you enjoyed. It helps the video to grow a lot. Thank you guys, and I hope you all have a great day. See ya.